evening. How are you? Woo! I tell you for what, it has been, let me just say, it's been one of those days where I feel like I've been chasing myself all day, but I'm about to catch me. I'm about to catch me. Welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. I'm so delighted that you joined me, that you made time in your schedule to be a part of this broadcast. You know, because it would not be anything without you, And I am especially excited and happy that you decided to make time in your schedule so you could join me. So, if you're watching tonight for the very first time, I want you to be sure and put that in the comments thread. And then if you're a returning visitor, then listen, you know, family is everything because the opportunity to connect with you is the best part of my day. I say it all the time, but I only say it because it's true. Okay, I only say it because it's true. Connecting with you is the best part of my day. Good evening, Janice and Lori and everybody that's on with us right now in real time. I want you to be sure to like and share this so that we'll be able to amplify this message and this wonderful time of fellowship and exchange to other people who may want to cash in on the joy and enthusiasm, because guess what? I got that. Now, I may not have a lot of things, but I got joy and I got enthusiasm. Hi, Teresa. It's so good to see you tonight. Listen, happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. I don't care who is trying to do away with it. Listen, it's going to be something that we have to perpetuate and keep going because it's important to us. It's important to us. And not only us, because I like to tell people Black history is American history, okay? It's American history. And when we get an opportunity to let people know about the exceptional contributions from our culture, that is especially exciting for me. That's why I really like going to schools. February is a busy time for me. I do a lot of school programs. I do a lot of speaking for different organizations, and I absolutely love it. It's one of the most exciting things to me to be able to illuminate and talk about the exciting and wonderful things that we have contributed from our culture. Shout out to everybody who is watching in real time. And then you know we gotta say, oh, we thank you to the listeners on WJIL.today who are tuning in at different times to watch the replays Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 a.m., 10 a.m., and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WJIL.today, Gospel Radio, Roku, and Fire Stick TV. And ooh, I appreciate it. I mean, I really, really do. I love that you take the time to watch when it's convenient for you. And I give a shout out to Pastor Patty Harris for making that platform available to Moments with Mama Sue, because she didn't have to do it. But oh, I'm glad she did. Yes, I am glad that she did. And listen, I want you all to know that this movement of Moments with Mama Sue, we're just going to keep growing. We're going to keep perpetuating what is positive over here because it's so important. It's so important. I talk to people almost every day that are having some issues and they are feeling some kind of way about the way things are going in our communities, in our country, on our jobs, different places. But can I tell you that I don't have a sad story to tell because Jesus is alive and well. And I'm over here to make sure that I keep the positive vibes going and that synergy that just reminds you that everything is going to be all right. It's really going to be all right. I want you to take the time, if you're watching, like I said, to be sure to like and share this so that we can grow our audience. And if you're watching on YouTube, particularly, please subscribe. That's how I grow the subscribership and those that are tuning in. It makes my day. It makes my day to add followers. I like to know that there are people who resonate. Ain't that a good word for today? Resonate. The message and the ministry that we are sharing resonates with you. Yesterday, let me tell you something exciting that happened. I was at church and my pastor said something that really resonated with me. What he said was that we appreciate all of our visitors, first time visitors. But then he said, when you return and you come back a second time and a third time, that really says something about your love for what we're doing. And I thought about that and I said, yeah, anybody can come the first time, but if they don't like it and it's not doing anything for them and they're not being benefited, then guess what? They're out and you will not see them again. Thank you, Frederick. That's true. Resonate. So if what we are doing resonates and it is something that is blessing you and you come back, that makes me so glad. It makes me so happy. And I will tell you all that I'm trying a variety of different things as we move into this last part of year number 4 for Moments with Mama Sue. Did y'all know we've been on the air for 4+ years? We are in the final leg of this 4th year. And in April, we will actually have 5 years that we have been on the air, that we have been doing Moments with Mama Sue. And you guys have encouraged me. Some of you have been here every step of the way. I do it live, and you're right here every first and third Monday of the month. And don't you know that I'm excited about it? Thank you. Thank you for doing that and for being a part of that. And then I want to say that something new is in the works. I am contemplating and working on moving Moments with Mama Sue into a podcast space. It won't be very different for many of you all. I'll still continue with the webcast that we are doing now, where you all get to come in and interact. But I'm also considering taking it to radio and the different platforms that broadcast podcasts. So what y'all think about that? Let me know. Let me know. You can put it in the chat. What do you think about that? And would you be open to following along on that platform? It will just give me a broader base for exposure for what we're doing. So I'm really thinking about how I can take this and also repurpose the content. I won't have to do very much to it, but I will have to make it available to platforms that do podcasts. Oh, thank you, Frederick. I love that. Thank you for the thumbs up, because you guys are the ones who fuel the inspiration for so much of what I am doing. And if it wasn't for you, let me tell you, I wouldn't even still be here. But because you tune in and you keep praying and you keep encouraging me, then that just makes me feel like, oh, I can just do it because you guys are the wind beneath my wings. And I appreciate everything that you are doing to encourage the positivity and momentum for this platform. So you guys stay tuned and be looking forward to that, because in a few months, as we get ready to turn over to year number 5, wow. As we get ready to turn over to year number 5, we're going to be doing some additional things, and I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the additional exposure and all of those things that are going to be going on. So let's go to our happenings so that I can tell you all about the things that are getting ready to come up right here with this one right here for the month of February. You know, I told you that it's very busy because it is Black History Month. So let me tell you, the first thing is that I am doing a college classics course at Midland College. Yes. It is legacy storytelling. And if any of you are in your wisdom years and you would like to be able to take a continuing education course at Midland College, then just hit me up in the DMs and I will give you information about how to do that. There is a nominal fee. I think it's like $25. And you can take as many courses that are being offered in the semester as you desire. Not just the course that I'm doing, but many other courses that are being offered. And it's just a way to continue to keep yourself sharp and on the cutting edge and learning and growing. So I'm doing storytelling, teaching people about how to tell their own unique stories, and I am loving it. I had the first class on this past Tuesday, so there's still several sessions remaining, so you can jump in and catch on, and I would love to have you be a part of that if that is something that you're interested in. Because listen, you never get too old to learn something new. And that's the truth. And then on this week, y'all, remember I told you about the story labs that were coming up with the Midland Storytelling Festival. We had the first one in January, and the second one is coming up, and the emphasis is going to be, of course, Black History Month. So we have a wonderful teller that is coming from Newport News, Virginia. His name is Dylan Pritchett. Dylan is a master storyteller, and he has recreated voiceovers for museums of famous historians, all kind of things. He is a wonderful storyteller. I cannot wait for you to experience what he has to offer. So on Thursday night of this week, February the 6th, at 6:30 p.m., Join us at Midland College at the Murray Faskin Learning Resource Center. That's the library, y'all. It's right in the middle of the campus. And Midland College campus is at 3600 North Garfield Street. I need you to come. There will be food. Yes, we provide food, and there will be wonderful stories. And then we're going to have an intergenerational discussion. So the target audience for this is going to be your teenagers. If you have teenagers, bring them with you. Not little kids, but teenagers, young adults. You guys come and experience this wonderful storytelling opportunity. The Story Labs are awesome. So he's going to be here Thursday evening for that. And then on Friday, he'll spend some time in our schools with our students. He'll also be doing programs at the Culver Detention Facility with those students that are there. Listen, we can't ever give up on our children. I don't care what they're going through and what is happening. We never give up. And we don't know what kinds of things is going to inspire and encourage and maybe motivate them to do something that is positive, and maybe even consider changing the way that they rolling through life. So I am very excited that our storyteller will be offering storytelling at the Culver Detention Center, as well as several of our schools here in the community. And that is going to be amazing. And then, y'all, I told you it was busy. And then don't forget that tomorrow, I will be, guess where? At the Southeast Senior Center. There it is, the Southeast Senior Center. I'll be there for the senior sing-along, and I can hardly wait, because every time I go, I feel good, because we have a wonderful time singing together until we feel better about the whole thing. So if you are in your wisdom years and you like singing, please come on to the Southeast Senior Center. There are some members of Mama Sue's family that are on with us. They are part of that sing-along group, and we have a good time. If you're part of that sing-along group and you're on with us tonight, drop in the chat how you enjoy it, and then I'll be able to plop that up on the screen and say, oh, see, she said she like it, he like it. So you guys be sure to come along and enjoy it. And if you're not in Midland, America, that's okay, because at 10:30-ish, I will go live on Mama Sue Roseberry on Facebook, so you'll get an opportunity to enjoy the singing. And we have requests. People pop in and give us requests. We've had some wonderfully encouraging participation from people that you wouldn't think. Dr. Patrick Bradley frequently drops in. Lamar Campbell frequently drops in. You never know. So we just enjoy singing and blessing the Lord together. And that will happen on tomorrow. And then, it seems like I got a million church announcements tonight, but I told you Black History Month is I told you. You don't have to take my word for it. There are others who are giving a positive testimony. Come on. So in addition to all of the things that are taking place this week with the Story Lab and all of that, I am going to be in Odessa at the Elegante Hotel on Friday evening for the 36th annual conference for the Texas, now this sounds long, y'all, Texas Association of Ministers' Wives and Widows. This is the first time they've held a conference in Odessa, and it's going to be at the Elegante Hotel on Friday, February the 7th at 7 o'clock p.m. So you can catch me over there singing and praising and doing what I do to lift up the name of Jesus. And then on Saturday, somebody put Saturday in the chat. Saturday. On Saturday, we are going to have another opportunity for a community-wide program that is going to feature our special guest from Newport News, Virginia. He will be there, and we will be featuring the Storytelling Festival. We'll be hosting our 4th collaboration event with the Museum of the Southwest. And our storyteller will share stories, and then the West Texas chapter of the Gospel Music Workshop of America will share stories in song, because that's what songs are. They are melodic stories. And the theme for the day is ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. And if we ever needed to be convinced of that and certain about that, it is now. So that is at 3 p.m. on Saturday, February the 8th. It's free. That's at 1705 West Missouri Avenue. That's the Museum of the Southwest. If you're coming to that, some of you may have mobility challenges. There will be valet parking. Just come and have a great time and celebrate Black History Month with us. And you will, I think, leave inspired, encouraged, and feeling really, really good. All right. Now then, I have finished with all of the church announcements. My goodness, it was a lot. It was a lot for today, but that's okay. Thank y'all for hanging with me while we went through all of that. Now, I need you just to hold on and look forward to hearing what we're going to be talking about in our topic discussion, because this is the first Monday of the month. We're going to continue with our intentional self-care and improvement inspiration right after this.
It's beyond entertainment. It's an experience. Book Mama Sue Roseberry today.
And it's worthy. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so excited that you are here. If you know what we've kind of been up to, we decided that for 2025, we were going to embark on a journey of discovery and intentional consideration about how to improve ourselves in some areas. And last month, the topic of discussion was, come on, 2025. We know that at the beginning of a new year, lots of times we are trying to improve our health. We start trying to improve this body, going to the gym, deciding all kinds of things that we're going to do. So we start making resolutions, joining gym memberships, buying cases of Slim Fast, and doing all kinds of things. But we really want to hold one another accountable for doing some things that help us to continue to get better and to improve. Now, the message for tonight is going to deal with learning to let go. Okay? Learning to let go. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard, y'all. It's hard to let go of fantasies and ideas or concepts that we have in our mind about things that we've held for a very long time. And when we find out that it's not working and it's not benefiting us, sometimes it's very difficult to let it go. You all can drop in the chat why it's so hard for us to turn some things loose. I'm going to give you my take on it, but I'm learning from you as we go through this as well. And you saw me with my journal. I instructed or told you all, let's get a journal so we can keep track of all of these lessons as we walk through, and we can continue to hold ourselves accountable and one another for the improvements. Come on, somebody. The improvements that we are going to make. Because when we get to the end of 2025, I'm expecting that there will be some growth. So we got to learn how to let go. One of the reasons why we're reluctant to let go is because we sometimes kind of feel like we're a failure. We think we should be able to do it, improve it, fix it, change it, help it. But can I tell you, all you can do is all that you can do. That's all you can do. And when you have done your best, that is all that you can do. Changing people, sometimes changing situations, that's a job that is above your pay grade, okay? Because you don't have the power. I know, it's hard, but you don't have the power to change people and change circumstances that they develop and create. You get to be the boss of one person, and that is you. It's difficult to change people's mindsets and their trajectory. They're set on a path that they have thought out or feel like they need to travel. And so sometimes you can't change them. But it doesn't make you a failure because you have offered what you have, what gifts you have. Now, Sister Sue, what in the world are you talking about? I'm telling you that even in Scripture, there is a recognition that there will come a time when you will have to recognize that you can do nothing about the way that somebody was thinking or responding or feeling about certain things. Jesus instructed his disciples when they came into a house and they were not well received, and what they had to offer wasn't accepted, he told them to shake the dust from their feet. Mm-hmm. Y'all remember reading that? He told them to shake the dust from their feet and to move on. And that is what we have to learn how to do. That's part of the letting go. That's part of learning to let go. Now, that's a very lofty and emotionally charged thing to do, but it's necessary, because sometimes while we are trying to be God in a situation, we are hindering him from really having his way. That goes for relationships, that goes for our children, that goes for certain things when you know, it's difficult. I'm here to tell you, because I have done it. I have tried so many times to change what people think and how they feel, but you don't always get to do that. But what you can do is live your life in the most positive and productive way you can, doing the very best you can. And once you have done that, then you can release yourself from the obligation of feeling like you failed because you did what you could. Now, that's talking about relationships, and up here with those emotionally charged feelings and situations, I got another facet of letting go, and that has to do with the practical, the things that are around us. It's first natural, then it's spiritual. What are you saying, Sue Roseberry? I'm telling you that sometimes we need to make a physical declaration about letting go. That dress that you are not going to ever get in again. Hallelujah. Let it go. Let it go. That skirt that you wore 20 years ago, but you just loved it. Let it go. Let it go. I'm promising you that sometimes our physical circumstance helps to define and project and bring into some manifestation things that we're trying to do emotionally. We can have clutter all around us, build up around us sometime, and it's hard to think and see anything fresh coming into that scenario. So you're going to have to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And recognize what your limitations are. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something, and y'all can laugh about it because I do. I have learned about this about myself. If I don't want to accumulate magazines and newspapers and things like that because I have a little OCD, and I cannot move on to another day's newspaper if I haven't read everything in the day before. That's the truth. And if my time is so boggled and so full that I'm having so many things to do and I can't get free to do some of the things that I want to do, like read the newspaper, then guess what I do? I start stacking them up. And then I told you I had OCD, so I'm going to put them in chronological order, okay? So it'll be a mound of newspapers that are just stacked up, or magazines. If you buy anything, magazines will be stacked up. And I can't get to this month's magazine if I haven't read the one from last year, and I don't mean just reading it, y'all. I feel like I have to go from cover to cover like there's going to be a test. And somebody is going to say, what was on page 51 of the AARP Quarterly Magazine? That's how I approach reading. And if I had a magazine subscription, it would really be bad because I feel like I paid for it. I paid for that subscription, so I need to derive every bit of benefit from that magazine that I can. So things have a tendency to pile up, and you got a whole lot of clutter. That's how people become hoarders. Not that the things that they are surrounded by are necessarily detrimental or not good. They were good at one time. But we have to learn that there is a time. Come on, Ecclesiastes. There's a time and a season and a purpose for everything under the heaven. And if something has overstepped its time, then you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go so you can prosper. So I started when I was getting prepared for tonight's subject matter. I started going in and looking at some of the things that I had accumulated in my closet, in my closet, in my closet, oh Lord, in my closet. Jesus. And I had a whole lot of purses, y'all. Purses that somebody else might have enjoyed toting or using, but I just had them stacked up. So I finally start going through and cleaning some of them out, pulling them out. And when I did, a purse that I really, really, really liked, a gold metallic finish purse. I ain't gonna say it was leather, but it was a nice looking purse in its time. Y'all, the purse had dry rotted. Do y'all hear me? The purse had dry rotted, and it was no good. I had never carried it really once or twice, and I don't know what I was waiting on to get it out to use it. But by the time I got ready to really make a decision about it, a decision was already made for me. It was not going to be possible for me to be able to use that because it was rotten. Let's not let that happen in our lives with other things that we are doing. There are things that you have that you're never going to use again. but they may be perfectly serviceable or useful for somebody else in a different situation. Let it go. Learn how to let it go. Part one, the emotional entanglements, those relationships, those things and connections that are not serving you well. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Look what Trina said. Delete that man's phone number. Let it go. It's not serving you well. Then, part two, practical application. Start with something that you can absolutely, tangibly connect with and make a difference. That's your closet. That's that pile on your desk that you're not going to touch, those magazines, those newspapers. Let it go. And it may have had a good purpose at one time, but it no longer serves you. Clear it out and let it go. And then the third part of that, y'all, here's part three. For all of those things that people have given you that have some kind of sentimental value and it's difficult for you to let it go, recognize the power of technology for holding on to memories, i.e., we have these wonderful electronic devices. We can take photographs of things, and then we can catalog those memories. We can make voice memos, videos, things of that nature, so that they don't just have to take up space. You can hold on to them, and the memories are still intact, even if you have to let something move along. There's power in taking control over your thoughts, over your surroundings. And when you begin to do that, you're going to see that there is a leverage, because if you never let anything go, there's no room for something fresh. There are blessings that we are holding up because we don't have room in our lives, in our hearts, the bandwidth of what we can think about. We're holding them up. Unnecessary, this is a good quote. Yes, Trina. Unnecessary storage may grow stagnant. So learn to let it go. It may be something you got to pray about, but over the course of, thank you, Lori. She is just the best. Take photos, videos, voice memories. Yes, make room for something fresh. I want you to take your journals, and I want you to make yourself accountable for clearing away just one thing. Just one thing. You'll have to think about it and be intentional about what it is that you need to let go, so that new things can be made evident and manifested in your life. I want you to write it down. If you know what it is and you have one thing that you can share, then you can do that. I told you about my purse stash. I cleaned it out. I made room. And there will be an opportunity for me to make a donation to somebody or some entity that can use some of those items. We don't have to hoard things. In the scripture, if you remember the children of Israel when God brought them out of captivity, and he told them while they were in the wilderness, he provided for them manna for every day. And he told them to just gather enough for the day. Don't try to hoard it and be greedy. Just give us day by day our daily bread. God's going to provide for you. He always has, and he always will. Yeah. And you all can be thinking about it. If you've thought of something that you know you can toss or you need to get involved with getting rid of out of your closet, out of your yard, out of the storage, you can drop that in the chat. We'll use that as a means of being accountable. Put it in your journal and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it because it's a practical application. Letting something go so that we can grow. Come on, rhyme. Letting something go so that we can grow. We're getting close to the end of our time, but I got one more thing that we're going to talk about for real tonight, y'all, before we close, and it's coming up right after this. Advertise with us and let Mama Sue's family know what you've got going on. Email us at msroscbe2@gmail.com. Oh, yeah. Y'all, I just have to talk about this. You know that I like sports, okay? NBA is my thing. That's my jam. I love it, okay? But let me tell you, something happened over the last few hours that nobody was talking about, nobody expected. Y'all, the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, traded Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. And the Dallas Mavericks traded. When you say traded, that means you make an exchange. Guess who they traded? Luka to the Lakers. Yes, Luka went to the Lakers. I had to talk about it because it was all the rage today when we were talking. What is going on? What is going on? My goodness, we are living in the last days. Look at this visual. Can y'all see it? Luka Doncic in a Lakers uniform, a Lakers jersey, and then Anthony Davis as a new face in the franchise for the Dallas Mavericks. There he is, surrounded by Klay Thompson, my former Golden State Warrior, and Kyrie Irving. And then you got Luka up there in the picture, surrounded by LeBron James. What is going on? Oh my goodness. Y'all can tell me if you knew about that. I tell you, it was captivating. It's been on all of the sports channels. It's been a big deal because nobody breathed a word about it. They're coming to the end of the deadline for trading players because it's coming up to the All-Star break. And after the All-Star game, then they're going to be starting toward the championship playoffs. And so this is the time that you get to make those impactful trades and try to get somebody who can help your team be positioned to win. And that was a biggie. So I don't know if you had heard about it, but I just wanted to reinforce the fact that even team members who were considered to be it and really relevant and important, they let it go. They let it go. And so change happens. It happens for us, and we can be proactive and not let it happen to us in some cases. So I just want to encourage you today to just keep looking up, keep planning and thinking about how you're going to be intentional in this year of 2025. We're 2 months in. January is gone. We don't get to do anything about it. We can't get it back. If we didn't maximize everything that we were intending to do during that first month, it's too late now. But guess what? We're still alive. So that means you have time and opportunity to do something different. Okay? Christine says her storage is empty and she's available to you. Now, we're not going to just transfer stuff from one place to another. We're going to make decisive changes, decisive and impactful changes that are going to help us to be our best self and make it at the end of this year where we have really gained some traction for doing some incredible things in our self-care and self-help. So while you're doing that, if you come across any of your heritage documents or anything that ties you to stories about your history or your heritage, remember, we had her on Moments with Mama Sue just a few months ago, our family member Trina Lewis, and you can get with her. She's a consultant and can help you with tracing your genealogical tracing your history and your connections. So those things are important, and you can do that. And listen, we're all just growing and going to be better. I know we are. I know we are, by the help of the Lord. Trina says letting go means losing the old and gaining the new. And I believe that with my whole heart. So I want to encourage you to keep following on the very next Moments with Mama Sue. We'll have a special guest with us from Fort Worth who is heavily involved in the Musicians Association for Tarrant County Black musicians. And I think it'll be a wonderful time to meet her and talk about what they're doing for preservation of this thing that we love so much, gospel music in the Tarrant County area. And in the meantime, you guys follow me. Help me to do more of what I'm doing. Help me by your contributions. Help me by going to Cash App or to my website to subscribe if you're not already. There's going to be new blogs out there every month. It's a new blog, new ideas to ponder, and I certainly appreciate all of your support and prayers. It means more to me than I can say. So the Cash App is $Sue Roseberry. And then if you want to do Venmo, That is Sue-Roseberry-1. And if you just want to submit a check, that's okay too. You can mail it to P.O. Box 51422, Midland, Texas 79710. And I will get it, and I will take everything that you are supporting me with and encouraging me with and put it into doing more and doing better on Moments with Mama Sue. I love you. Thank you for being part of what we're doing in the world, because I had to let some things go. I had to challenge myself in areas that I thought were too great for me to venture into. But God is faithful. He's faithful. And He's challenging me. And He's stretching me. And not only me, He's stretching you. He's growing you. And we have an opportunity to do great things together. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will be looking forward to seeing you on the 17th for Moments with Mama Sue. And y'all come to the stuff that's happening this weekend. If you missed it early, go back in the recording and find out what we got going on. And follow me, and you'll know all about it. I love you. Have a great evening.